Hello people, Red Dog Truth. Here I'm going to start off just showing you a little clip of PK Truth's video, Orlando shooting hoax, Norman Casiano busted telling porky pies lies.
Who is this guy escaped from the bathroom and got when they killed Mr. Martin?
Let's cut right to where he's in the bathroom.
This idiot says in the
we see Norman clearly being walked. We see Norman clearly being walked down that, staged perp walk, from Orlando where they had everybody walk past those reporters. But right here, he says he was one of the first taken out of the club on a stretcher. Why would he be walking down that staged perp walk if he was taken out on a stretcher? The next stop would have been an ambulance or a truck and then a hospital. He would not be forced to walk that distance back to near the crime scene of the Pulse with 4 bullet wounds to the back from an AR-15 style rifle, okay? Now watch this.
2 interviews. This is the killer. When I say killer, this is Casiano sitting in his car the next day. He was out of hospital the next day. I'll make another video on that. But here he's talking to a reporter. Listen to what he says here.
They didn't want to go with me, and I had to step over bodies that are already passed out and climbed onto the sink to then climb over. At that point, I put my hands in the air, waved them to the cops. They came, got me, and just brought me straight out to a stretcher in an ambulance. They came, got me, and just brought me straight out to a stretcher in an ambulance. They came, got me, and just brought me straight out to a stretcher in an ambulance.
Okay, you heard that, people. Now let me go to this other site. Not sure what the rules are with this site, so let's see. That's in focus there. Alright. I was talking to this Norman Casiano on a private online message here. And I'm not going to probably want to bore you with the whole conversation here, but my first remarks to him were, okay, August 20th, really, a day and a half later, out of the hospital with 4 gunshot wounds to the back. Your color was fine and you were in great spirits after the worst night of your life. I want to know your secret of how you made it through with such great spirits and how you recovered so much faster than anyone who has ever been shot 4 times. Was it just a lot of prayer, or are you in touch with some magic and sorcery? The same magic and sorcery that Angel Cologne's nurse/surgeon, Megan Noble, used to make the bullet wounds completely disappear from his hands. Really? You were one of the first taken out on a stretcher, but we see you doing that completely staged perp walk, helped to walk with your pants hanging off your ass. If you were really taken out on a stretcher, you would not be just taking a few blocks to sit down or lay down on the ground and then be forced to walk back towards the club while injured with 4 bullet wounds to the back. You would have been taken directly to the hospital. But that didn't happen. Gee, I wonder why. Can I be part of your secret society and make millions? Yes, I think I would like to sell my soul just as you did so I can get paid the big bucks. I'm a good actor. Much better than Andy Moss. Can I join your little club? Okay. And I wrote another one shortly after. Oh, it was a couple days later. Hey, you know what happens when the government feels that people are getting really close to unlocking the truth about something? They start killing off the people, most of the people that were involved in the Great Lie, to clear up any loose ends. Hope that money and fame was worth it. They could just electronically take over your car and smash it at high speed into oncoming traffic. And I went on about the JFK assassination, saying, Bush Sr. had something to do with it because he did. It's some videos where, for years, George Herbert Walker Bush did not have an alibi, could not say where he was on November 22nd, 1963, when JFK was shot. Now, almost everybody in the world knows where they were when that happened. But Bush he just couldn't remember. And then he even laughed about it in some speeches and stuff. I mean, it's pretty much been proven that he was the man on the scene controlling that, even though they claim he was never in the CIA. And said that he was the first person to run the CIA that was never in the CIA, even though we know he was still secretly in the CIA. There was a memo that was given to a memo writing about some Cuba stuff and everything that was written to a George Bush and the CIA in around the time Kennedy was killed, or in early years like that, and it ended up being, he tried to say it was to another George Bush that worked for the CIA, but he was like clerical, and the stuff that was talking about would have never been, to that George Bush. Okay, so enough of that. He goes back to me, days later. You are what's wrong with this world, and you and the rest of the single-cell amoebas. I say, no, that would be lying fucking scumbags like you, bitch. You'll get what's coming to you soon enough. Sandy Hook was a disgusting hoax, and so was the Boston firecracker incident. But they probably told you that when they prepped you for your crisis acting job. Look into those. They are totally proven hoaxes. Watch the 3-year hoax anniversary of the Boston Hoaxathon on YouTube, and you will see the disgusting father, mother, and daughter team of the Broussard family, that we have total photographic and video proof that all 3 were perfectly fine right after the firecracker went off, and then minutes later still fine. And then sometime later, all 3 of them, one by one, end up getting on their lying asses onto stretchers, and then a day or 2 later in the news is telling us that they had some severe damage to their legs. The daughter, Christara, was filmed running next to what I think was her father's stretcher. Absolutely nothing wrong with their legs. No limp at all. Her mother is also seen walking minutes later with no damage or limp or damage to her jeans. In this masterpiece of great detective work by 2 regular guys, surely if they could find all this stuff, the government and police would be able to. We see that bald guy with the ripped pants that was on the cover of so many newspapers getting pulled into the driver's seat by someone wearing a Boston firefighter's uniform. We don't know if that was a firefighter. And we see this man proceeding to slice that bald man's pants up. They were fine before he met with the firefighter, and then looks around to make sure no one sees him let the bald guy go, and then a lady that looks and acts like the director of this fake crime scene sees the bald guy with now ripped jeans and grabs him and pushes him into the bomb scene so tons of photos can be taken of him and be put on the front page of newspapers across the country. He was nowhere near the scene when the supposed bomb went off. Watch a video titled The Child Abuse of Alexis Wassick on Truth Media Revolution YouTube channel. You will see this poor little girl struggling to tell the reporter that it's all a big lie, and you see the father with his hands tightly wrapped around her throat, keeping her from answering the question asked directly to her, and then makes bullshit excuses for why she's not going to speak. He already pimped her out for 3 interviews already, when it was pretty damn obvious that she had that nothing bad happened to her that day. The hoaxes are reality, and there is a ton of proof. Dude, you fucking lied and you know it. Let's see, I'm not going to keep doing this. Dude, you claimed you were first people taken out on a stretcher, so why then did we see you walking back towards the club with your pants falling off your ass when you were taken out on a stretcher? Let's see, let's continue that point. There's a whole lot of stuff here, so I'm going to skip some of it. Oh, I accused him of driving. I think I might have said that in one of my videos, too. Okay, so I'll admit when I'm wrong. Okay, he wasn't driving. I hadn't seen that video for a while, but it looked like he was driving because when you see the video, the driver's wheel was right there, so you look at it close, you'll think he was driving, but he wasn't, so I'll admit when I'm wrong. Calls me a Lucy and a loser. Said, the fucking loser here is you. You are a paid liar. He goes, I feel sad for you people. Accused him of driving. I was wrong. My dad used to watch stupid people like you and believe crazy conspiracy theories. I go, sitting up doing interviews in perfect spirits with 4 bullet wounds to the back. Why did you claim you were one of the first taken on a stretcher if you were walking back towards the club with your pants hanging off your ass? Answer me that then, bitch. Until his son was shot twice in the back, leaving 4 wounds and 2 entry and 2 exit. That's talking about his father. To begin with, I don't drive. I don't even have a license. Why is that? So useless you can't even drive? I was one of the first put on the stretchers once the ambulance got us. Now I know you're fucking lying. We have you on video driving. Well, I was wrong about that. Okay. It's in the passenger seat. You said you were one of the first to be taken off the floor of the club on a stretcher. Down here, he claims to, I go, off the floor of the club to a stretcher. He said, nope, never once came out of my mouth. I got myself out. The cops took too long. Oh, I got myself out. The cops took too long. Nope, I didn't. So, where were you put on a stretcher? Yes, you did. I was on the floor of some parking lot. I think Wendy's. I'll repeat this, okay? I asked him, where were you put on a stretcher? He says, I was on the floor of some parking lot. I think Wendy's. I'm not sure too much shit was happening to me to know exactly. I know what I went through, and I don't need some fat bearded virgin loser hick to come try and make me feel some type of way. I've gone through enough. Respect the dead. Respect my friends that are dead because of an ignorant fool like you. Fuck off, honestly. Respect the dead. Here's a little issue. I don't have people respecting the dead. The people that act like if someone's dead, you can't ever say anything bad about them like they're a total saint. Well, I don't believe that nonsense superstition. You know, I'm no saint. I know when I die, people are going to remember the bad along with the good. So I'm not going to think that about anybody else. Someone I'm going to remember for what they did in life. I'm going to talk, if they did some bad things, I'm going to talk about them. I'm not going to act like they're a saint just because they're dead. That's a stupid superstition. Let's see, I go on to tell them more about the Sandy Oaks and the Boston Marathon, and saying, obviously, you didn't even bother to research the disgusting Broussard family I told you about, and you just assume I must be making it up. And he goes, I truly hope you never have to witness what I did and still feel what I feel. I don't care if it was shot. I don't care if it was a hoax or not. I tell him, research both on DITRH, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. He has all the proof you need to see those were both hoaxes. All I know is I lost so many friends. My life will never be the same. I use a cane and walker just to get around. I have permanent nerve damage. My pelvis is fractured and my tailbone is shattered. Okay, really? If his pelvis and his tailbone is shattered, how the hell was he walking? I know he's being helped to walk, but okay. Well, obviously you do, because you are calling me a loser and a nut for believing the truth, that they were both hoaxes. You are now continuing to prove what a liar you are. Thanks. Guess he didn't know or think I was going to put this in a video. Well, he just gave me all the proof I need. We have him in that PK video saying he was one of the first to be taken off the floor out of the club, and then he's telling me here he thinks it was off some parking lot. He thinks Wendy's. So we have it proven here he is a liar. You are a loser for attacking someone who was there. You are all of the above for doing such an inconsiderable thing. Heartless. I know what happened. I was there, not you. Fucking piece of shit. And I tell him, wah. I think you got some of that Florida beach sand in your pussy. See, you're a loser. Can't wait for the media to see this. I can't either, because then I'll explode all the proof that we have. And it would blow up the fact that people think this is crisis acting, and the news wouldn't do that. They want people to forget about this. Have fun at hellstorm you're about to face. You were warned. You acted like a baboon. Now pay the consequences. You can say bye-bye to your shitty YouTube account. So Norman Casiano thinks he can get rid of my YouTube account. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. That about wraps it up for me this morning, people. So we got Norman Casiano, proven liar, and I have it right here. That's it. Red Dog Truth.